Matthew chapter 8, verse 23 through 26. Are we there? And when he was entered into the ship, his disciples followed him. Verse 24. And behold, there arose a great tempest in the sea, insomuch that the ship was covered with the waves, but he was asleep. And his disciples came to him and awoke him, saying, Lord, save us, we perish. And he said unto them, why are ye fearful, O ye of little faith? Then he arose and rebuked the wind and the sea, and there was a great calm. Let's add verse 27 to it. But the men marveled, saying, what manner of man is this, that even the wind and the sea obey him? Mark 4, verse 35, verse through 41. Let's get the account of Mark. Mark chapter 4, verse 35 through 41. Are we there? Mark chapter 4, verse 35 through 41. And the same day, when the even was come, he said unto them, let us pass over unto the other side. And when they had sent away the multitude, they took him even as he was in the ship, and there were also with him other little ships. And there arose a great storm of wind, and the waves beat into the ship, so that it was now full. And he was in the inner parts of the ship, asleep on a pillow. And they awake him and say unto him, Master, carest thou not that we perish? And he arose, he rebuked the wind and said unto the sea, peace, be still. And the wind ceased, and there was a great calm. And he said unto them, why are ye so fearful? How is it that ye have no faith? And they feared exceedingly, and said one to another, what manner of man is this, that even the wind and the sea obey him? Luke chapter 8, verse 22 through 25. That's the account of Luke. We've just read the account of Matthew and Mark. We want to read the account of Luke now. Luke chapter 8, verse 22. Verse 22. Now it came to pass on a certain day, and he went into the ship with his disciple, and he said unto them, let us go over unto the other side of the lake. And they launched forth. But as they sailed, he fell asleep. And there came down a storm of wind on the lake, and they were filled with water, and were in jeopardy. Verse 24. And they came to him and awoke him, saying, Master, we perish. Then he arose, he rebuked the wind, the raging of the water, and the seas, and there was a calm. And he said to them, where is your faith? And they, being afraid, wondered, saying one to another, what manner of man is this? For he commanded even the wind and the water, they obey him. May the Lord bless the reading of his word. I want to share with us on what I title, Silencing the Storms of Life. Silencing the storm of life. storm is a sudden burst of bad weather, especially with heavy rain, lightning, thunder, and fierce wind. So storm is a sudden burst of bad weather, especially with heavy rain, lightning, thunder, and fierce wind. That's your dictionary interpretation or definition of storm. Storm generally portrays troubles, disturbance, attack, problem to distract us from our successful Christian life. No matter how perfect you are in life, storms are going to rise up in life. And if you are not very careful, it is in the middle of storm that people become doomed. It is in the middle of storms that certain stars rise up. In other words, no storm, no stars. No storm, no stars. Storms are your spiritual scar that reveals your stars. If you fail in the days of storm, you are doomed. If you fail in the days of storms, you are doomed. Uneasy is the head that wears the crown. I said it here, there's no free food in the spirit. Every food that you have to consume in destiny has a price tag. Storms are like temptations. Storms are like trials. Storms are like persecutions. There's no way you go through this life that you don't have a storm to face in life. And hear this. The height of your storm will determine the height of your rising in life. Never you laugh at any man where people talk about him, run him down, say all sort of things about him or her. You might think that person is sinking down. No. Most often storms are there to fast forward us to our fulfillment in destiny. Storms come to fast forward us to our fulfillment in destiny. I've heard people talk about a man of God or somebody else. Do you hear what happened to him? Did you hear what that happened? I tell you the truth, in the school of destiny, no matter how intelligent you are, you must face every examination storm one at a time. And what makes you rise up to your next level in life, you must conquer the next devil. Every level brings a devil, and the devil is a storm. And if you cannot conquer the devil, you can't go to the next level. If I tell you what I have gone through in life to get to where I am and what I'm still going through, oh my God, you will know that celebrating glory is not just it. You pay the price. If you don't pay the price, don't pray to be great. If you are not ready to be talked about, not ready to be persecuted, not ready to be betrayed, not ready to be backstabbed by people in life, by loved one in life, then you have not started the journey of destiny. Storms are inevitable. They are the path stumbling block to greatness. No matter how good you are, you can be a friend of God, but God cannot permit you not to face storms, because they are part of the strategic plan for your destiny upliftment in life. So without storm, I can't see anyhow stars can be made. Stars are made through storms. So I ask you, if you don't have a storm that you are going through, you have not even entered the university of greatness. You have not even you have not written the WAEC, you have not even written the JAM. You have not been given an admission. Because whenever storms start, it begins to reveal who you are. No wonder in the Lord's Prayer, Jesus gave us a formula, because there are certain storms that can bring you to nothing. He said, lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Because there are certain temptations that are beyond human capacity. But the Bible speaking again saying, there is no temptation that comes your way that you will not overcome, because God will not permit anything that is above you to consume you. The reason why you are where you are is because there is a rising in your destiny that will put you on top. Am I helping you? Am I talking to somebody here? Never you say, I want to be great, without expecting trials. Trials will come. One of my sons met me and was crying, and I said, what is the problem? He said, I never knew this is how ministry is. And I said, why did you say so? He said, Papa, I thought it's all about preaching. And I said, no. He said, 3 of my pastors left me. I gave one of my best car to one of my best son, and as soon as he got that, he left the ministry. Then he said, I felt sick and I needed them all around me. Then they started saying that it was the juju I did that is about to kill me. Then he said, Papa, is this how ministry is? Then I said, no, welcome to the University of Storm. I said, you've just started now. Before you were playing, now you've just started. When storm rises up, even your own blood will rise up against you. When storm rises up, your family member will rise up against you. When storm rises up, even your own blood can betray you. When storm rises up, nothing, the devil can use anything. Do you know why? Every new level attracts new devil, and your new devil is your storm. But I can tell you, if you are ready, you will cross the river. Hear this: sailing with the master in the ship, having all the food in the ship, sailing quietly. It is not a guarantee that there will be no storm. They were in the boat, in the ship. And hear what Jesus said. I love the account of Mark and Luke. Jesus said to them, let us move to the other side. We have tarried too much in this side. We have to move to the other side. And for us to move to the other side, we have to sail through all night. And for us to sail through all night, we must face our trial. We must face our storm. The reason why the storm came was because they were moving to the other side of their ministry, the other side of the blessing, the other side of glory, the other side of favor, the other side of lifting. Because he said, let us move to the other side. A new devil waited for them in the middle of the sea. Am I helping you? Are you getting what I'm saying? There is no free food in the spirit. No free food in the spirit. There is a price tag for every food. Storms, storms, storms. I have heard teaching that have made people feel that Christianity is bread and butter. Yes, I'm telling you the truth. It's not just bread and butter. It's bread and butter mixed with bitter leaf soup. Oh, you getting me? It's bread and butter mixed with bitter leaf soup. As you begin to eat the bread and enjoying the butter, you get to a particular point, you begin to feel the bitterness. And after some time, you come out of the bitterness and see the sweetness. I have never seen any success without sweat. There is always sweat that is attached to success. And for you to get your sweetness, you are better get ready to sweat out. Because if you don't sweat out, I'm telling you, if you don't pay the price now, you will pay the price later. If you don't pay the price now, you will pay the price later. David killed Goliath. And before he killed Goliath, he told Goliath about his CV. Ah, my God, the Lord was with me. With my bare hands, I killed the bear. I did that, and did that. And within a twinkling of an eye, pow, brought Goliath down by the first stone. What an easy level to bring down such a great man. Then the women of Israel start singing. Wow, David killed 10,000. Saul killed 1,000. I felt, that is the beginning of glory. David spent almost more than 13 years wandering in the wilderness from Ekron to Hebron, lingering from one level to the other, because as soon as he killed Goliath, I thought he will be honored. The next thing was that the storm came. The problem of David was that the glory came before the storm. So there is no carryover. You must pay the price. And so as a result that the glory came before the storm, God said, come back to primary one. You cannot just jump. You cannot bypass what you just jumped. Pay the price. For more than 13 good years, David was lingering in the wilderness of storm. Storm. A president of a country hunting the head of one man. Storm. 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 Elijah was shaking his head. Ahab, you are the one that troubled Israel. He killed 430 of 50 prophets of Baal. Powerful, glory. Everybody were praising Elijah. Then one Cinderella, one tiny lady came up and said, I swear by my God and the deity that I serve, that Elijah, if I don't give your head to my God as a sacrifice, call my name that I'm not Jezebel. As soon as he twinkled her waist, Elijah ran for his life. Ran for his life. That was a prophet that killed men, 400 and something giant men. One shekelless sister threatened him. He ran away. Hear this. Your storm can be different from my storm. Now hear this. There are certain storms that look like a baby, but by the time they begin to grow, they become giant than a monster. Elijah was in the window and said, oh Lord, take my life. I am the only prophet left. God said, keep quiet. Do you know how many Jezebel have threatened that are under the cave? I'm feeding them. What are you saying? You think you are the first person that have storm? And that's the problem of most of you. God, why me? Am I the only person? My own is always different. Your own is not always different. God, it has happened to people before you. So don't make big news out of what you are going through. You make it look like you are the only one that is going through storm. You are not the only one. If somebody else tell you his own trouble, you will keep quiet. You will be doing thanksgiving. Storms. Storms. My early days of life, I will dress up, dress very powerfully, going for programs, whole briefcase, only my Bible 90 days inside. Invited to preach. Bike will carry me when it's getting to the point where I'm about
to reach the church, I say, stop me here. I'll complete the journey. Then I have foam. I will clean my shoe with oil. So you will not know that I just came down from somewhere trekking. And I come to inside the church. Storms are bound to happen. What kind of storm are you going through? Do you think you will die in it? No, you will not die. There are types of storms. Some storms are business storms. Some storms are family storms. Some storms are ministerial storms. Your faces are different. Your trials are different. And your challenges are different. It is only a fool that laughs at a man going through his trial. If you know what it means to go through storms, when you see a man going through his storm, you pray and say, God, help me. Because what is before A is going to come to B. Somebody come to you and say, my marriage is shaking. They laugh and say, look at you. I thought you are perfect. You are not supposed to have any problem. You don't know. If God can open your eyes, you will see the gorilla waiting for you. Be very careful the way you dabble into people's issues. If your eyes can be open to see what is coming ahead of you, you will know that God made you to see the storm of brother A, so that you can get inspiration to face your own. Be very careful the way you make comments. The way you make comments. Be very careful. Don't pass judgment, unnecessary judgment. Somebody came to meet me. He said, you know that man of God, all the pastors have left him. Everybody is going out of the church. I don't know. It might be a character problem. It might be this. I said, brother, I'm not here. I'm not called for this kind of gossip. Be angel and walk so psychedelic that you don't even talk against anybody. Those who are made to leave your ministry will leave your ministry. Give them all your life. It is your own storm. Your storm. They will think they are destroying you, but they are fast forwarding you to your glory. They are helping you to go to your next level. I've seen people, when I start ministry, when they leave, they say, we'll see where you will end. As soon as they just leave, pam, promotion, pam. Then I understand that trials and storms in life are not to destroy you. They are to catapult you to the next level. I had a testimony of a great man of God having a convention. And all the children were in a vehicle and they had accident. And all of them died. All died. And he was about to mount the altar when the news came to him. Is it a sin? No. Is it that it's not righteous? No. Yeah. Said the storm shook him. He was weak. And now, the Holy Spirit told him and said, son, if it were your members in your church that died today and not your children, will you still climb the altar to preach? He said, yes. He said, now go and preach. He said, they are all your children. What you do in the days of storm will determine whether you pass your exam. I have gone through the valley of the shadow of death. And when I climb the altar, I don't lose inspiration. Because I understand that this storm cannot kill me. I refuse to give up. Whenever storm comes, that's not the time to cry. That's not the time to live at the mercy of your trouble. That's the time to put on a lionic character and tell yourself, forward ever and backward never, no retreat, no surrender. I will make it. I will make it. I know who I am. I know what I carry. I know what God has written concerning me. I refuse to be a failure. Sit down. Storms. Storms. Imagine a man of God losing all the children the same day. At once. You don't understand storms. I'm talking here. Storms. 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 There are certain storms that come to you that you can overcome, but the people around you can blow it and make it a mountain. In a ministry in Nigeria, a church collapsed. 100 and something people died. But the Christians in Nigeria made it a mountain. In Saudi Arabia, how many people died? Was it no more than 1,000 or so? So many people died. Many Nigerians died. But they are not making it a mountain. You know the problem of the body of Christ? We celebrate generals when they sustain. We celebrate generals when they sustain injury. We are happy that they are going down. We don't assist them to come up. Time will not permit me. I will show you scriptures where buildings collapsed in the Bible and lives were lost. Storms. 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 I was with a man of God. He lost his wife, and it was not even losing the wife that was the problem. It was the mountain that was created out of the issue. Storms. Storms. Storms of life. Some of you, your storm is that you are in relationship. The man is so much in love and wants to marry you, but your best friend has snatched your husband from you. And the worst part of it, she's so bored, telling you, what can you do? That's storms. Troubles, problems, trials, trials, trials. Have you given somebody money, assist them when they were nobody? Now you are now down. You go to meet them for help. They are now looking down on you, insulting you, telling you, who are you? What do you know? They are happy that you are down, and they are even telling people that you came to ask for money. But in their days, you assisted them, you helped them. Don't worry. God is only teaching you storms of life. You will overcome it, and
then when you are at the top, you will know people to help and the one not to help. There are people that does not deserve help because they are troubles and not, they are troubles. If you give them help, they can trigger your destiny down.
I was talking with a great man, a politician. Some group of people came to meet him. He had issues in politics. And they needed help. He assisted them, gave them money. Out of the money he gave to them, they extracted money out of it, gave to journalists to publish rubbish thing against the same man. Storms. Storms. Then he said to me, Papa, if I had not given them the money, they wouldn't have any access to have used the same money against me. Storms are teachers of life. They will teach you, teach you, teach you. Whenever you pray for greatness, get prepared for storm. I've heard people say, no. No. I'm telling you, no matter how perfect you are, there will be storm. Do you know why? The storms of life was not afraid of Jesus in the ship, in the boat. Jesus was inside the boat. The storm said, whether you are there, I know you are the creator of heaven and earth, but I will still do what I'm supposed to do. I was created when it is time, when the going is smooth, to come and trouble. Jesus was in the boat, was in the ship, but the storm shook everywhere. There was a mighty tempest. The weather was against them. Everything was shaking. The boat was shaking. The disciples said, carest not that we are about to perish. A storm. There is a level you get to in life where everything around you is shaking. Everywhere. The weather is against you. People, loved one is against you. You get to job, the job is against you. Helpers that are supposed to help you are turning against you. Loved one in the family are turning against you. And you ask yourself, what sin have I committed? You don't need to commit sin to have storms. Storms are just there to promote you. But sometimes the experience of storms are bitter. Is it wrong to have vision that the 11th star and the sun and moon are bowing down to you? Joseph had great destiny. But as soon as he declared the vision, storms started. He was coming to give the brother food. Hear what they say. Here comes the dreamer. They took his coat of many colors. You know, these are blood brother, the same father, the same father. The devil can borrow anybody against you, anybody. Anybody. There are vessels that the devil borrows and dump them. He borrows them, use them at a particular time, dump them. No wonder Jesus looked at Peter and said, get thee behind me, Satan. Everybody close to you, you should always use your spiritual eyes and ears to scan them. Because sometimes they can be borrowed, sponsored, just for 1 minute against your destiny. And after that become normal. But they have caused you a lifetime tragedy. Storms. Hear this. Men who go through storms of life, after they have overcome, they don't talk anyhow. When they see a man going through one, they keep quiet because they knew when they were there what happened. People that are quick to judge, quick to talk, until they've not seen anything. When you see something, your tongue will be salted with grease. You don't judge, you keep quiet. Because no matter how perfect you are, when the tempter wants to tempt you, will tempt you hands down. Abraham was the favorite of God. It didn't stop him from being barren. Abraham was a friend of God. It didn't stop him from being barren. Storms are bound to happen. In fact, the more closer you are to the heart of God, the more higher your trials become. Brethren, just before you say, Father, I want to be great, please count the cost and the price, because there is no free food in the spirit. Am I helping you? Facts about storms. Number one, storm does not discriminate, as it has no respect for any person. It has no respect for any person. Psalm 107 verse 29 says, He maketh the storm a calm, so that the waves thereof are still. Psalm 107 verse 29, He maketh the storm a calm, so that the waves thereof are still. The one who maketh the storm to calm is not you. You can't handle storm by intelligence and skill. Storm is not the respecter of any man. No matter how high you are, storms are bound to happen. I have never seen any man of God anywhere without a CV of storm. Anyone who does not have the CV of storm, then is an artificial man of God. There was a time that Benihim marriage shook. The whole world was saying, hey, there's about to be a divorce. That's a storm. That's storm. You dare not gossip and talk about them. It's storm. There's more to what the eyes can see. Storms. Great man of God, Kumi. There's a time he lost his wife. That's a storm. Storms are bound to happen. And when they come, you don't try to talk, because your own is waiting for you at your pathway of destiny. Man of God, do we pray for storm? No. We don't pray for storms to come. They are part of our examination, except we don't want to be great. You want to be great? It's there waiting for you. Sit down and look at what you have gone through in life. Stop thinking that it is dangerous. No, it is just part of the things you have to do. Learn to pay the sacrifice. You get great in life because of the problem that you tackle, solve, and overcome. You don't get great in life just by sitting down and avoid avoiding problem. Hear this, problem are pregnant with progress. If you can unravel your problem, you get your progress. So problem is the womb that carries progress. You can never assess progress without seeing problem. Church is quiet. I preached somewhere in Kubwa here several years ago, and I was given 250 naira as honorarium. I told you. And I had to trek from that place back to Duse Bokma, just to ensure that I have money to eat, for the journey is far. There was no place I didn't use my palm sandals to trek when I started this ministry here in Kubwa. Nobody knows me. Some of you here would have passed me on the way and I'm not relevant. I came to the church, Redeemed Church, at the police station there, and the Deeper Life here. And I remember I told you, when I saw those two churches, I said, Father, if you can just give me half of this, just half. I'm not asking for too big. Half of it, the church when you are coming, just half of it, for me to just have where to put members and preach. Storms. I remember we saved money. We were trying to buy a drum set. A visiting man of God who came to see me stole the money and ran away. Forget this thing. He's a visiting man of God. He stole the money. There are things we don't. There are things. You see, when you see somebody, there are things these eyes have seen. No, there are things. One day I went to visit my members. I remember in Bado. I knocked their door. Before I knocked the door, they were gossiping me. Terrible gossip. Dangerous one. And they were people I trust with all my life. In fact, there's no Sunday I don't go and register my presence in their house. The gossip was the whole family. The whole family. My hands was on the door. I was saying this. We were emphasizing Joshua Iginla. I say, hey, and the way they talk, it was so heavy. I said, Jesus Christ. My body was shaking. Then I knocked the door. As soon as they opened the door and saw me, say, where down, Daddy? Daddy, where down? Daddy, where down? Papa, Papa. I say, hey, hey. What? I say, hey. People can kill you. I said, this is the kind of people I have. They were kneeling down. Sure, can we give you water? Can you take this in? I just look and say, no, thank you, thank you, thank you. My voice was down. I sat down, look at all of them. I said, so you people have this in mind? No sin was committed. No wrong was done. But their mindset is so bad. Then God said, I wanted you to know the reason why they are not blessed. Why your prayer over them cannot be answered. Say, they fight the altar. Then I learned that people can say Hosanna today, and tomorrow they say crucify him. That's why my hope and trust and confidence, I don't have any best member. I
I don't have any favorite member, because your favorite can become your devil tomorrow. I love all my members, and I'm not surprised if the unexpected can come from anybody. Whenever it comes, I say, that's my cross. Now, me say I want to be man of God now. I say I want to be popular. Okay, fine. I won't be great. Fine. So when you talk about me, I say part of the price. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Storms. Storms are like spiritual stone that is released on your fruitfulness. You don't go to a mango tree that is ripe, and when you see it and you want to get it, you see guys stoning the tree. Stoning. Whenever you see men casting stone at you, throwing all manner of bullets at you, just know the fruits around your destiny is ripe. It's ripe. And they don't know how to plug it, so they want to get it in an illegal manner, so they cast stone on it.